Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live with Aaron Glandon. I'm Dan Ramey, in for Mike Smith today, who's taking today off, a well-deserved day off.
He's on assignment.
He is.
That's what we say.
Well, that is true. He's not in the loft today with us because he's deserved time away from the loft to be on assignment.
Right. Exactly.
We'll get the technology, terminology all the way complete here. But we are here, and we have topics we want to share with you for today. News, sports, weather, and this date in history. Not one, but two for today. And also, we'll walk back through our Player of the Year presentation. It took place yesterday. So we'll share details in just a bit. But first, as we always do, let's take a look at the forecast for you to see how to prepare. Much milder than it was over the weekend. In fact, I thought, Aaron, you'd be wearing shorts when I got here.
Nope.
Not the case. Rain is in the forecast for us Tuesday through Thursday. And that's because we're getting warmer temperatures. Cloudy today, a high of 40. Tomorrow's high, 40. 50 on Wednesday, 55 on Thursday. So what snow you see on the ground, chances are it's not going to be there by the end of the week. May not be there by Wednesday.
Let's hope not, because the roads are still a little rough up on the hill.
They are, and I did some side street driving when I got into town today, and they're all still kind of slick and packed down. I was surprised. The county road that I live on looks far better than what it does in town, but not as much traffic on those county roads as you see here in town to pack all that stuff down and turn it into ice. All right, coming up, we'll take a look at what's making news for you today. But first, we want to tell you about our friends at Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you've got a cleanup job that needs to be done, in some instances, they'll do the cleanup for you. But a lot of times, you're doing the work of your own, and you need a dumpster. So give them a call, 740-253-8389, and Carl will bring out a dumpster to you. And if it's not Carl, it'll be one of his workers will bring out a dumpster to you at your residence or your business so that you can haul that stuff away, which they'll do for you as well. Find out more at 740-253-8389. If you click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, it'll take you right to their Facebook page to get up-to-date information from Scioto Valley Dumpsters. News is next.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
As we always tell you, take a look at littermedia.com, and that's where you'll find the latest news and information that we're going to share with you right now. Some of this is, though, on our Facebook page as well as our Litter Media X, formerly Twitter, and on our YouTube channel as well. So let's get things started with where we're looking at today. The grand opening for MacArthur Gardens, which we told you about last week, was to take place tomorrow, but it's being delayed due to unforeseen circumstances. MacArthur Gardens' 32 new units of rental housing makes it the first permanent supportive housing development located in Chillicothe in Ross County. Scioto Valley Mental Health Center gave part of that property for the housing, and we'll have a counseling office in the main complex to help people in transition. Integrated Services Housing Program Supervisor Kelsey Todd says that the group is working on a rescheduled date for that grand opening. You can read more about the project when you log on to littermedia.com. Last fall, over 34 Ohio University undergrad students designed and wrote proposals for the Student Spaceflight Experiment Program's Mission 18 to the International Space Station. On one of those teams, selected as finalists, UNIOTA sophomore Sadie Lamerson, who started classes at Ohio University Chillicothe in the 8th grade. Lamerson's team conducted research on microgreen germination in microgravity conditions and analyzed plants for vitamin E content. You and I have run into Sadie. You probably don't remember when we went to a UNIOTA football game this past fall.
Right.
She was working the gate. And I had just met Sadie the day before at a fundraising event. She was taking photos, and we struck up a conversation, and we pulled up, and remember what she said?
I don't remember what she said.
Oh, it's you. And she helped us in. Now, they weren't finalists. They were finalists, but they weren't selected. And Lamerson's team selected as the winner? No, they were a runner-up, but pretty much an honor to get a chance to do something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, especially as a sophomore in high school.
Right, exactly. But taking some classes at OU Chillicothe, which a lot of high school kids do these days, and it really helps them get credits knocked out of the way, and they don't have to go to school for 5 years.
Right.
Because they're doing it while they're high schoolers. So, all right, crews are back in Chillicothe on the streets working for Columbia Gas, trying to get those gas lines replaced. We went through this during the summer and everything, and now I saw some blue lines and some orange lines down on the brick this past week. I was traveling through Chillicothe, and so the road closure will take place this week for 5th and Mulberry. So right there, took a drive through to just take a look so that you could see what they were looking at. But it's created again the street closure in Chillicothe at 5th and Mulberry. Crew workers out there in this cold weather, and of course they'll be facing rain this week too. But they're sawing through the streets to get down to those gas lines. So if you're traveling in that area, be cautious. Keep an eye out for those workers. Hocking Hills had a great turnout for its annual winter hike yesterday. And here's some of the photos from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. And we did, not this past weekend, but several years ago during the polar vortex, went through and shot video of what this all looks like. You can find that on our YouTube channel. If you go to Litter Media on YouTube, just search Old Man's Cave, and you'll get a chance to see that wonderful frozen encounter that we took. It was a beautiful day for walking through, but it was cold as all get out.
Yeah, I bet.
It really was. In fact, it was 25 below, I believe. The wind chill was around 25 below. There's a moment where I was walking down the sidewalk in the parking lot, and I slipped and fell. And I had the camera going at the same time. And then I received a call from the boss and says, maybe we got to be a little more careful with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
Does that footage still exist?
It does.
I want to see that.
I had yak tracks on too. And it was just, I stumbled and fell. It wasn't a slip. So, all right. The Majestic Theater, they've got a plan for entertainment for you, and it is a big plan. And it starts this weekend. Saturday, the Lonely Boys will perform. February 2nd, the sold-out Twitty and Lynn concert, featuring the grandson and granddaughter of Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn. Eastern High School grad Moose Miller, who you see in the lower left-hand corner there, who's been in Nashville for the last few years. He's Holland's little brother.
Oh,
not real little. He's 6'7".
Okay.
So, but it's Holland's younger brother, joined by Nathan Witt Band. That'll be Saturday, February 3rd. Aubrey Ray with Shane Runyon, who's been here many times before, performing on February 17th. Chillicothe's Lori Graves was leading several different acts in a comedy night. in the Raise the Roof campaign show, and that's coming up February 24th. And still to come, Jimmy Mowry and Murphy from American Idol fame. He is still in town here, and they'll perform on March 9th. Chicago Tribute Band, you see them there in the middle, Brass Metropolis. I missed the show last year. Got to try and get to see it because Chicago is my favorite band. And McGuffey Lane returns again April 13th. John Schwab goes way back with me. We did some things with McGuffey Lane when I was at Sunny 95 in Columbus 30 years ago. But his sister, Julie, was my American history teacher in high school. Funny that it's a small world of connections. Small world. It really is. All right, tickets can be purchased online at Chillicothe.net. And, of course, you can visit the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau, who we showed you just a moment ago, at 230 North Plaza Boulevard. They have a ticket office there as well. Haven House up in Pickaway County will conduct their 17th annual Valentine's Day Dinner and Dance. It's coming up on February 10th at the AmVets on Tarleton Road in Circleville. Tickets are $50 per plate, $400 for a table of 8 people. And the social hour starts at 6 p.m. with dinner and dancing running at 7 until 10 p.m. Here's something for you to take your date to.
There we go.
You're going to be doing dancing soon, I'm sure, so why not do some dancing with Haven House and help raise some money as well. Many folks try to supplement their home heating during these colder temperatures, which can present dangers of safely heating the home. Since more than half of all home heating fires occur in these winter months, state officials urge Ohioans to keep loved ones safe this winter with some helpful tips. We have a list of those helpful tips in a story on our website at littermedia.com. Keep anything combustible at least 3 feet away from other items. That seems to make sense, doesn't it?
That does make sense.
Never refill a space heater while it's operating and refueling heaters outside. You do that outside.
It's like you turn your gas off to fill your car up.
Precisely.
Or you turn your car up to fill up your gas.
Yes, and stay off your cell phone and don't smoke while you're doing it either. Right. Make certain that your home's smoke alarms are in proper working order and in every bedroom. You ever go around and test those and then it seems like they don't want to shut off?
Yeah.
And I think it's probably why some people don't test them very often. But you should test your smoke alarms.
Is one of the tips on there wear fuzzy socks like in this picture?
It is not, but I would say don't wear fuzzy socks within 3 feet of that heater.
Oh, yeah, because then your toes could catch on fire.
It's possible. It's possible. So if you want to find out more, just look at that story at littermedia.com. And camp counselors are needed for the Forestry Wildlife Conservation Camp this April. 4-H'ers who are at least 15 years old, that's 4-H age, are encouraged to apply. You'll find a link to apply on our Facebook page. Coming up in a moment to look at sports, we'll take a look at our visit we had yesterday with our Player of the Year, thanks to Neil Coleman Insurance, Wyandotte Mutual, and of course Litter Media. It was pretty cool. So we hope you get an opportunity to stick with us so you can see Cole Miller in a conversation we had yesterday. We've got more coming your way as well, so stick close for that. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor for nearly 5 decades. They service a wide, vast territory here in southern Ohio. In fact, it stretches all the way from Athens over to Dayton, from Portsmouth all the way up to Columbus. Get more details when you click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it will take you to AccurateHVAC.com, the website for your total comfort advisor. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Sports next.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Time for sports, and we start off with the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Year. For 2023, there he is, Cole Miller. And, of course, Miller was in studio yesterday. Last June, he won the 100 dash, then the long jump, then the 200 run. He's currently a freshman at Ohio Dominican in Columbus. And we catch up with Cole Miller for some comments on winning this award.
It was such a huge relief. Being able to win that, I went into Saturday, it was all just, it would have been great to win, but, I had already won one. I was happy with, I felt some success, but then again, it was also a little fire because I knew what that success felt like. Mm-hmm. So I wanted it again. Yeah. It's crazy. I actually had quite the crowd from Paint Valley and the SVC come out. So when I was up there, of course, they're still running races and everything else while we're doing podiums, and it's kind of crazy just to hear the Ross County section just liven up and be loud, and it was really awesome.
You can see this in its entirety here on our Facebook page, or you can go to our YouTube channel as well to learn more about what life is like for Cole Miller now as our Player of the Year award winner. And I tell you, when we opened the box yesterday, he was like, oh, wow, looking at that award.
It was a pretty award.
It was. And did I send you a copy of it to show on the show today?
You did send pictures, but I didn't put them in the OBS.
Okay.
You can see those pictures on our Facebook page.
You can see it. So under the interview with Cole, just scroll down in the comments and you'll see a picture of it. It was pretty cool.
I stopped in here yesterday and I was looking around and I saw the box on the table.
Did you open it and look at it?
What's in this box?
So you were sneaking around and going, hey. You had an opportunity to flee the country with a trophy.
I did. I didn't do it, though.
Your honesty is well rewarded. Thank you for not taking that. With only one veteran swimmer, I'll tell you, this group has done a great job in really displaying the abilities of kids with disabilities through the Special Olympics. And so this took place at the Ross County Special Olympics swim team, able to bring home 13 medals after competing in the regional competition up at Kenyon College. Veteran swimmer, here she is, Caitlin Brown, who you might remember from Dance for Kids' Sake. She, along with Amy Bueller, were the Dance for Kids' Sake Children's Champions last October. She brought home a gold medal in the 100-meter breaststroke. Two other gold medals were won by Andrea Bear in the 25-meter backstroke and Asher Duncan in the 25-meter freestyle. The team also won 1 silver, 4 bronze, and the 4x50-meter relay captured a bronze medal. Each athlete will be advancing to the state indoor winter games, and that'll be taking place next month up at Bowling Green State University, and to compete against athletes from across Ohio. Get more details on our website, littermedia.com. It's also where you'll find high school scores from over the weekend. Most everything was wiped out on Friday due to the weather, and still some were canceled due to the cold temperatures on Saturday. But as you can see, quite a number of ball games played there.
Quite a number of ball games.
Yes. And, of course, we're back at it with broadcasting this week. We're going to – now, basketball season presents a little something different for us for the Litter Media Game of the Week. Usually our focused game of the week is the Friday night game.
Right.
Which is what we will look at for a preview. But this week we have 3. And the first will be tomorrow night, Zane Trace at Unioto. Unioto's only loss in the league came from Zane Trace. We'll talk about that tomorrow with Mike Smith. Then that's our first game that we'll broadcast on Litter Media Radio this week. Friday, we have plans to go to Jackson for Miami Trace at Jackson in a FAC battle. And then we just discussed this morning, we're going to make a trip to Tays Valley again to watch Circleville take on Tays Valley in Mid-State League girls basketball. Circleville is 14-0 heading into play this week. And not only that, I think if they pick up a win, this will make them 10-0 I think they've got a game tomorrow. That would make them 10-0. And a win at Tays Valley would make them 11-0. And I think they might be able to share, at least to claim a share of the title with a win Saturday night.
Wow.
So there's a lot on the line.
A lot on the line.
Tays Valley is also recognizing their girls basketball championship teams, because this is the last year for the Mid-State League of appearance by Tays Valley. They'll be going to the OCC next year. And so they are bringing back, I've lost track on how many championship teams there are, but it goes back to when I was in high school in the Metro League. They won 3 straight league championships then. Then they won the South Central Ohio League Championship. But then in 85, they were a member by that time in the Mid-State League. And I think they've got like 13 to 15 championships there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. So I got a feeling, I mentioned Jeff Sheets' name on the program last week. I got a feeling he might be back. He was one of those coaches that helped lead the way on some of those championships. So it'd be good to see a lot of old friends again. And I mean old friends, because we're all old now. All right, on to more sports for you. Logan Elm inducted its 2024 class for its Athletic Hall of Fame Saturday. Inductees included, there you see, Coach Doug Stuyvesant in the top left. I've been around so long, I was broadcasting his games in high school when he was at Logan High School. And then he came as a basketball coach in 1999 at Logan Elm. So there's a lot of battles between Chillicothe and Logan that he was a part of, but then also Chillicothe and Logan Elm that he was coaching as well. So, and one of his star players beneath him there is Brandon Amon, along with the 1993-94 Final Four girls basketball team, with Clayton Starr leading the way. You see Clayton there. He's wearing the red shirt with the collar in the background. And then also Bob Butts receiving the Award of Merit. So you can find out more. We've got a web story, updated web story, and also this post on our Facebook page. Thank you to Todd Tomlinson, who works IT at Logan Elm High School. He managed to take those photos and shared those with us over the weekend. On to more sports for you, talking high school wrestling. Yesterday, the girls for the Waverly Tigers picked up some points, and they participated in the Brown Brothers girls varsity event at Jackson High School. And there you see Abby Green holding, she was the 140-pound champion. She's got the championship banner, but she has some teammates to her left and right. The one to her immediate right is Callie Farmer, who is at Western as a wrestler. So girls teams performing well yesterday down at Jackson. Tays Valley was second. Washington was third. Waverly finished fourth. Jackson was fifth. McLean was sixth. Others that were there, Adena, Circleville, Western, Vinton County, and Piketon all picked up some points. And now you see on the left there, Davey Adkins picked up his 100th career match victory for the Waverly Tigers. He's there with Scott Green, who's the head coach of the Waverly Tigers, former Chillicothe Cavalier wrestler. And that was taking place at Washington Courthouse, where Waverly placed 9th as a team. Washington was 3rd. Centerville was your winner there. Paint Valley finished 12th in that competition, and Piketon and Circleville and Western also with some points there. And the Miami Trace McDonald's Invitational in Washington Courthouse at Miami Trace High School, won by the Panthers. They finish up top, followed by Oakwood, Shawnee, Tecumseh. London was 5th. Some other area teams that were involved, Chillicothe placing 9th. Hillsborough was 12th. McLean was 14th. Zane Trace 15th. And Unioto 17th. And Logan Elm also participating. Now, Ohio State women were in action yesterday and picked up the big W that you see right there. There's a W in Iowa, but it didn't stand for win yesterday.
No, it did not.
It was 100-92 in overtime. All 5 Buckeye starters scored in double figures. led by Cody McMahon's 33 points. J.C. Sheldon had 24. Iowa's Caitlin Clark, who is probably the best female athlete in America right now.
Yeah.
She is, of course, with this number 2 basketball team for Iowa, which will probably slip down now that they lost to number 18 Ohio State. But Clark finished with 45 points.
That's
45 of the 92.
Yeah. That's right about half.
Yes.
That's crazy.
They'll meet again, and that's going to be on March 3rd in Iowa. So you know the Hawkeyes are going to be prepared. This was a chance for Ohio State to avenge the loss to Iowa in the Big Ten championships last year. So they got some revenge.
Yeah. Good
How
for
about
them.
that? Go Bucks. NFL football for you over the weekend. The divisional playoffs, wins for Detroit over Tampa Bay, and Kansas City defeating Buffalo yesterday. On Saturday, Baltimore and San Francisco picked up wins, although it looked like the potential that they were going to be upset. It didn't happen, though. That leads many to think that the NFL is rigged. Kansas City at Baltimore for the AFC Championship this coming Sunday at 3, and Detroit will be at San Francisco. I saw an interview at halftime of the Detroit game yesterday. Behind Coach Dan Campbell was a woman who had this poster, and the poster said, "I was 9 years old when the Detroit Lions last won a championship." And that was 1950-something.
Oh, my.
So 9 years old. So and now she's in her 70s, I think she said.
So what Super Bowl matchup are you hoping for?
I don't really know. I could see the rematch between Baltimore and San Francisco again. I would have liked to have seen what this matchup would have been like if it would have been Buffalo against one of the other two teams. I don't know. I just don't have a dog in this fight. So Kansas City, they've been there.
Yeah, I don't want to see
seeing
Kansas
Taylor
City.
Swift. You know, it was kind of cool yesterday seeing Travis Kelce's brother up in the stands, shirtless. That was pretty cool. Of course, he's retired now, so he has no worries, no ties to anything other than I'm hanging out with Taylor Swift without a shirt on.
Right.
Or he didn't have the shirt on, not
Right.
Taylor. So she was dressed warmly. All right, so I don't have a pick. Your thoughts?
I'm probably hoping for Ravens and Lions. I'm kind of rooting for the Lions.
Mm-hmm. The former Portsmouth Spartans, by the way.
Right. And I just don't like the Chiefs because they've been there. They're the new Patriots, it feels like.
Yeah, and you see a lot of these guys in commercials and everything, and you kind of get tired of seeing them in commercials.
Yeah.
And part of you wants to root against them.
The two things at once commercial, is that what you're talking about? The Travis Kelce?
Well, you know, they're entertaining. Don't take me wrong. But it's like, good golly, we're seeing them in uniform, and then we're seeing them in commercials too. So you can't get away from them. And now they're everywhere with Taylor Swift. All right, coming up in a moment, this date in history, we've got a couple of things for you. Literature, and then sports broadcasting. Details next.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand. Just
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait. which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Time to tackle history today. First, we'll start off going back to 1788 in the Litter Media Wayback Machine. Romantic poet George Gordon, a.k.a. Lord Byron, was born in Aberdeen, Scotland. Byron grew up in poverty and was burdened by a club foot. I had a club foot when I was born. It was surgically corrected.
You're just like him.
Well, not quite as famous as he is. At the age of 10, he inherited his great-uncle's title and became Lord Byron of Scotland. And 50 years ago yesterday, the Cincinnati Reds hired this young guy, 31-year-old, back then, Marty Brenneman, to replace Al Michaels in their radio booth. It was the start of a 46-year run as the voice of the Reds. 24 years ago, Marty became the Ford C. Frick Award winner, landed himself into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
There we go.
And the year 2000, and here you see my autographed photo taken by Jim Day, not Jim Day of Bally Sports, Ohio, but Jim Day of Chillicothe fame. And this was when I was interviewing Marty during the Reds Caravan stop that they used to do here in Chillicothe. Mm-hmm. And it was in studio, as you can see by the by the radio station sign behind his shoulder. So right there, he looks like he's telling us about one of these boring stories that's going on out in the lobby that he was hearing our former general manager of the radio station tell. I joke about that because there is another photo of Marty standing there listening to Dan Latham tell a story, and he's just like, this is the first day of this caravan. I've got to go through 4 more days of this. But they always talked about Marty being, his was the party bus.
Right.
It was the one to be on this tour. So a lot of fun were those days of doing the radio caravan tours. And that was our first worldwide broadcast of any type at the radio station, because when they came, they asked, hey, MLB.com would like to tap into your broadcast. With the radio station, we hadn't started streaming yet. Mm. So I'm like, well, okay, I think we can do it. And so we managed to connect our radio signal through a phone line to MLB.com. And people from around the world were able to hear our chat with the boys that were coming in and out of the studio.
So you are famous. You're just as famous as Lord Byron.
If the number of people that have read his poetry and saw him in person were to be compared to the number of people that were listening that day, possibly.
I'll tell you one thing. I'd never heard of him before this morning.
You've never heard of Lord Byron?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
I did like his silk shirt that he was wearing.
Oh, you like
Very
this?
fancy.
Let's see that shirt again.
Let's see it again.
Take a look here.
Is that velvet or is that?
I would say that looks like it's velvet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks very soft.
It does, and he's got a lot of hue to his cheeks there. And all that.
What's he thinking about?
I can't believe it's not butter. That is a good question. And how long do you have to hold that pose for an artist?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
I mean, today it's like, let me take a quick snapshot, you know, and then, but if you're actually having to sit there in a portrait setting and have one of these looks like this, I don't know if I could hold that very long.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
maybe a velvet shirt would help you be more comfortable.
Maybe. But I would have to think, at what point in time can we take a break?
Mm.
But then how do you get back into that same position? I don't know. I've never had to sit down for a portrait like that before.
Me neither.
Yeah, probably never will. You, maybe. You've got more of a lifespan ahead of you that maybe you would have an opportunity for that.
I have my doubts.
In a red velvet suit. For those of you listening on Litter Media Radio right now, you're probably like, what? I got to start watching this show. And you should.
You should.
You should. And tell your friends as well. All right. Before we wrap things up, do want to say hey to Eric Rippeth today, Chris Titler, also Jennifer Allen. That's Dr. Jennifer Allen. Also Doug Lowe, Randy Schoblock, Amy Glandon is watching yet again today. Here's your opportunity.
Hey, Mom.
There you go. Also Kelly Spetnagel, Amanda Keaton, Francie, is it Slankza? Slanczzka. Also Kay Wolf and Cheryl Tingler checking us out today. Thank you so much for watching.
Hello, everybody.
We appreciate that. And please support our advertisers, because that leads to success of this program. Not only that, but also keeps us employed. And he's a young student just out of college. He needs a job. He needs a job. All right. Thank you again for watching here today. We are back at it again tomorrow. Mike returns tomorrow again with an update on Litter Media Live. Thanks for watching.